When it comes to our platform, we're trying to optimize this, supply chains, allow people to run their business in a more efficient way, make more money, push more product, automate everything they do, have more time to themselves as well. What would you say to companies who don't see the benefits yet, don't understand, what blockchain can do for you?
Well, I think, blockchain is in its, as you said, it's in its very early infancy stage of life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to change dramatically over the next 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think the companies that are early adopters of blockchain will get an advantage because they will learn. And it's a learning experience for everybody. It's a learning experience for you and I. But as you say, we're part of the revolution, and we're part of the changing the future and building the future. So I think companies that are in the early stage will learn, and they will benefit by learning early, and they will get a competitive advantage through it. Because they will create better customer service, they'll create better efficiency, better productivity, they'll cut out wastage and cost. But it's definitely going to be a big learning experience for any supply chain company, logistics company, or any company going through blockchain change. And there are going to be mistakes made, and there are going to be failures. But I think companies that are not in it today will slowly, they'll all wake up at different times, different speeds. But I think the companies that wake up the slowest will be the ones that really, are disadvantaged in the marketplace with their customers ultimately. Because I think the customer will push it. Some customers will also be an early adopter, right? So they will demand it of logistics companies in years to come, because they will say, look, if you don't have blockchain technology, we don't want to do business with you because you're not efficient. You've proved it. We know that companies with blockchain are more efficient. So why should we do business with you if you're not? So I think that's how it will go. For me, it's still very much a very big mirror of what happened with the internet. I can remember when, probably you can't, but I remember when the internet started, and people were very skeptical about it. They were very concerned about how the internet would work. And, first of all, the internet primarily was on dial-up. It was on a modem. And,
I do remember those days. Early on, yes.
It was extremely slow to open. And, you would make a payment to buy a book or a CD or something or other online. And then the line would break, and you wouldn't know whether you'd bought the book or whether you'd made the payment or
my money gone or what. Yeah.
And you couldn't go and check your credit card statement online because it didn't exist. If you think about it, you had to wait for a month to get your credit card statement to see whether you'd made a payment.
Exactly.
So,
it mirrors in so many ways of how inefficient that the old process was when it first came out, and how the internet's obviously changed as well, where you could check your your Amazon orders and what's going on, and check your credit card if you want to. You have access to all these things. So I just feel like the revolution that blockchain is allowing people to take advantage of when it comes to these technologies. You're seeing it with the payment systems. You're seeing it with the way we're able to store documents. We're able to send documents around their original forms. It's amazing, and there's other blockchain technologies that are growing now that are going to be a part of this revolution as well. So I'm not just saying, obviously I'm very excited about our platform. I know what we're doing. I know the companies we're working with. I know what we're implementing, but I see what other companies are doing as well, and we're all growing in parallel together. And we're still at this stage, even though it's time, all consuming when it comes to, my daily ongoings. I know it's just 1% of the planet that's actually, utilizing or even paying attention to this technology. So when the other, another 2%, 10%, 20%, 15% of the population wake up,
you're right. That's exactly what will happen.
We're not even at the tip of the iceberg. We got like a snowflake, you know, so the iceberg is barely formed, you know, so there's so much ahead that everyone, you know, who are in the space right now are going to be, you know, sort of watching everyone kind of waking up, like you're saying, around them, and say, these are the inefficiencies that we're taking care of with this technology. So, you know, it's awesome. So I could talk about this stuff with you all day. You know that. So
yeah, but it's a massive revolution, and yeah, it'll take time, like the internet. I mean, the internet today is part of our everyday life, everyday business. Whereas in the beginning, it was, you know, just as you say, it was a snowflake. So it's exactly the same. I think we'll look back in 10 years and say, wow, you know, it's amazing how things have changed in 10 years.
Exactly. I look back in a 1 year, you know, or 18 months. Yeah, it seems like that, you know, with this, everything moves so quickly. So for me, it's hard to gauge how long it's going to take for this revolution to really take hold. And it's like wildfire sometimes, you know, so you think the growth is going to be, you know, within 6 months or a year, but within a year, it's completely changed. So, you know, I'm excited for the future, and I think it's I'm not talking about our project necessarily, but the technology in general is going to be more widespread, faster than people think. And in 5 years, I think it's going to be pretty widespread, actually. So I'm excited for it. And you know, we'll be talking about it as time goes on, and we'll, you know, kind of give each other our, you know, sort of, I told you, you know, it's, oh no, you're right, it's taking a little long. Oh no, it's going faster. So we'll help each other as it goes on. So
yeah, exactly.